Greetings plant people and welcome back to my jungle. So I missed out on doing my November favourites because I was just busy. So I thought I would do a Philodendron favourites, so like a general one. Philodendron is probably what I have most of and what I'm best at looking after out of all my plants. So I thought I'd share with you some of my absolute favourites of all time, common and uncommon. So one of my favourite things to do is when I go to a garden centre or just a plant shop in general, always look at the reduced section, because I found a Philodendron White Princess reduced from, I think it was $18.99. Have a guess what you think it's reduced to. £3. So of course I got two. There's another one behind me somewhere. Where are you? There you are. Of course I had to get two. Maybe a little bit overboard, but they weren't that unhealthy at all. It just really needed a soil change. I think it was overwatered and I think a bit overcrowded. I might split it up or I might put a moss pole in it when it gets bigger, but we shall see. This is one of my favourites because look at that variegation. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? But there's lots of new growth, so I'm absolutely over the moon. And one similar that I'm also absolutely in love with, Philodendron White Knight. Now I know this one doesn't look the best, I'm aware. It took a long time to actually grow. I got it as a baby, so I feel like baby philodendrons take forever to grow, but once they get going, they get going. Look at that leaf. It's got this gorgeous dark brown to it, and it's also got some almost pink variegation to it. So I hope more of those leaves grow out. I've noticed a few extra shoots coming out from, I don't even know if I can show you, but in there's a bit of green. And then hopefully I can chop off these non-aesthetically pleasing leaves because I never used to be able to tell the difference, but you can tell the difference if you put them right next to each other. I feel like this one has a much chunkier stem and it's a bit darker. This one has thinner stems and it's a bit lighter. I don't have a white wizard, so I can't compare that one unfortunately. But yeah, super happy with these. Very easy to grow, very easy. Okay, so this one might be cheating because it's new. And my lovely friend Alina, also known as Little Plant Lover, I'll leave all her social medias down below. She sent me a painted lady philodendron and I have wanted one of these for the longest time. I think it's one of my most rare philodendron, maybe that and my Florida Ghost. But I've been wanting one of these for absolutely ages because look at that pink. It's pink and the leaves have this gorgeous mottled look to them and I love the shape. I still can't get over that she sent me this. She was like, yo Jules, and I was like, yeah girl, what's the weather like where you are? Not too bad. She was like, I'm gonna send you some painted lady, and I wanted to do a backflip, quite honestly. Check out her channel, she's really cool. So far there's just some aerial roots, so I'm gonna have to put this in a little cup, I reckon. There's some moss. There's already plenty of moss in there actually. And when the leaves come through, they go this gorgeous orangey colour. There's a new leaf coming through there, so I'll probably put a photo on the old Instagram. Okay, so another more uncommon one. I was gifted this at the plant swap that I went to. I mentioned that a lot, to be honest. This is from Soil Ninja. She came up to me and she was like, do you have a Philodendron Glorious? And I was like, no. She was like, here you go. I didn't know how to react, to be honest with you. I was like, I just kept speaking my own weird language. I was like, are you sure? As you can see, it's a little bit scuffed because I had to carry back so many plants. I did have to chop a leaf off, but I don't know if you can see there, it's got a beautiful little shoot coming off. Now I can't remember what plant this is a hybrid of. I know it's Gloriosum and something else. So let me know in the comments because I've completely forgotten. You can kind of see, can't you, the Gloriosum-ness? It's got that big white stripe down the middle. This is another one of my favourites. You can see the similarity a little bit there, can't you? But this leaf's obviously much bigger. As soon as I saw this little shoot coming out, I've been staring at it every day, just like, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Next philodendron I have talked about a lot because it's worth talking about, and that's my Ring of Fire. So this is the variegated version of, what's it called? Narrow Form Jungle Boogie something or other. Basically looks like this but just plain green. These used to be really expensive, but they've gone down so much, and I'm so glad I waited for the appropriate time, because I'm not really on it to spend lots and lots of money on a plant. It's too much pressure. I'd feel guilty if I spent loads of money on a plant. I think the most I've spent is on the elbow, and I got a good deal on that, so. But the reason why I love this one, it's super easy to grow, super rewarding, and if you give it enough light, you get these gorgeous pinky orangey splash patterns when you get a new leaf, and I think it's one of my most eye-catching plants, and I like how each leaf is different. The pattern kind of reminds me of Monstera constellation, where it's got that kind of speckle mottledness to it with the occasional bit of white. I'm currently trying to air layer it. I'll let you know how that goes. So if you find a good deal on any of these, I really recommend you get one. Next philodendron is a little bit of a diva, I'm not going to lie to you, and that is the varicosa. And I know a lot of people struggle with this one, mainly because it's super thirsty and people don't realise how thirsty it is. It probably needs water now, actually. As it's got such papery thin leaves, they get damaged really easily as well. As you can see, the new leaves have this gorgeous, gorgeous velvety, pillowy, just extravaganza basically. And some of the more mature leaves, they have these bobbly little legs like Squamiferum does. And another thing with this one, spider mite magnet, so I'm always spritzing it, always. Actually, yeah, I think I'll give it a spritz now while I'm here. Better safe than sorry, hey? If you can keep a handle on it, it is a good one to have, but if you are a bit of an underwaterer or you struggle with pests, maybe skip this one. It's taken me a bit of a while to revive this one and its twin sister. I find that they're very hard to propagate as well. Every time I've chopped a bit off and tried to root it, just rots. So it is a gorgeous plant and it's very eye-catching. Looks really cool when it's wet, doesn't it? Okay, so last but not least, in my current philodendron favourites, this one is a Philodendron mexicana, and it does look a bit like a UPI, but it's not, and it's more affordable. Please excuse this rogue little stem. I accidentally knocked it off and I hate myself for it. This has a very obscure long leaf and I think it's super unique. I don't have anything like it, and I'm currently experimenting with growing it on a moss pole, because I feel like when you have a moss pole for a climbing plant, they give you so much better leaves and they get really big as well, and I think that's partially why this leaf is absolutely huge. Look at that. Look at that. And it's got a lovely shoot growing up there. I can't wait for this one to get absolutely massive. I did send a few pieces to my friend and I hope they like it. I don't really see a lot of people talking about this philodendron. I feel like it needs a bit more love. They're not that expensive. They're a little tricky to find. If you find one, I do recommend you get one because they're super unique, super easy, and I just think they're really cool. Actually, tell a lie, last but not least, I can't really bring it forward because it's on that massive pole there, and that's my Philodendron micans. It's a really good one to have because it's super cheap, super easy to find, super cool looking. It looks like a melanochrysum leaf almost, especially as I'm growing mine up a pole. The leaves are getting absolutely huge. So if you have one of these, I very much recommend you grow it up a pole because it's changed the game. It's absolutely huge now. That's it for now. I believe I've probably forgotten so many because I'm overwhelmed. But let me know what your favourite philodendrons are in the comments. I will leave all my social medias down below. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.